Dear young brothers and sisters, and of course, also respected elder brothers and sisters. I always talk completely informal way. I don't like too much formality. Sometimes I feel formality is additional barrier. So indeed, I am very, very happy and great honor to speak young students of, I think, a few different institutions, and feel great honor speak at a place, I think spiritually something very sacred place. But today, too cold. I think if there is some way bless us from outside, then I think it should bring sunshine. So in any way, I really feel very, very happy and great honor. And also I feel great honor, one 81-year-old person, having the opportunity to talk young people. Of course, we are same. The person who are talking, also human being. The audience, you, young, fresh, you also human being. We are part of the 7 billion human beings of this planet. It is really very, very necessary, you see, to have this sort of view or conviction. Entire 7 billion human beings on this planet is same human being, same human brothers, sisters. The way we born, the way we die, same. And emotionally, mentally, physically, we all same. No differences on the basis of different nationality, different belief, sort of different society, or different color. No. These differences there, that's on secondary level. Then, you see, we can say, we belong to this nation or that nation. We believe this religion or that religion. But at the time we born, no religion, not much feeling about different nationality. So long, children play together and showing affection, same. I always emphasize that because too many problems which we are facing today on this planet, many of these problems is actually human beings' creation. Of course, besides some nature disaster, but most of the serious problem is we human beings ourselves created. all these trouble which we created is based on secondary level of differences. So now only remedy to reduce this, we must go to fundamental level. We are same human being. We really need a sense of oneness of 7 billion human beings. On that level, yes, I want peace. I want joyful life. They also have the right to achieve joyfulness and a happy life. If you have serious sort of conviction about that, then no ground to kill each other, to bully each other, to cheating. So therefore, now, as one person whose age now 81-year-old, and whole my life go through a lot of problem. And then also you see have the opportunity to visit different part of the world. Then I develop conviction. Now, a lot of problem which we are facing. In order to reduce this, eventually in order to eliminate this, it is entirely up to us. And on the basis of sense of oneness of humanity, that I feel, I think now key factor to bring happy world, peaceful world. I think sometimes it's difficult. Young people, see, they love. So I think for me, okay, whatever you like, okay, you can do. Now, time always moving. Not only we, but the whole galaxies in time always moving. So then, when we talk time, past, present, future. So past, gone. For example, 20th century as a past century, now gone. We cannot change past. No matter what we sort of feel something, feel wrong, something bad, but already happened. Nobody can change that. Now, future. Now, I say, this 21st century, just the beginning of this new century. So, major portion of this century not yet come. So that's future. So future is concerned, we can make some change, future. So I usually used to describe among our 7 billion human beings on this planet, it's like my age, and also the chancellor and professors, we are the generation of 20th century. So our century gone. Now you are the generation of 21st century. So it is your responsibility to create better world, better future. And also, you see, you will see better future. I think most of us, the generation of 20th century, I think we may not see after 10, 15 20 years, my own case, then I will go some different place. So we cannot see the better world. Of course, it takes time and need a lot of effort. But it is possible to create better future. Better future means peaceful, compassionate, happier world. Now, I have sort of close sort of, or say, the dialogue or discussing with scientists over 30 years, mainly cosmology, neurobiology, and physics, particularly quantum physics, then psychology. So, you see, I have sort of quite a lot of experiences, you see, discuss or talking with scientists. Now, some scientists now they say, firstly, I think the peace very much related with our inner peace. It's obviously full of anger, full of suspicion, full of distrust. How can develop peace? Peace entirely based on inner peace. Without inner peace, impossible to create world peace, external peace. So therefore, first we have to create inner peace. Now for inner peace, actually, who destroy our inner peace? Not outside weapon, not outside enemy, but within our own enemy. That's anger. So once anger, I think everybody have the experience. When we meeting with someone, so our friend, you see, we feel very happy. Then you get some information or someone who you don't like, you see he's coming, or he or she coming, or saying something about you, negative things about to you, then immediately peaceful atmosphere change, shouting. So therefore, real destroyer of inner peace is anger, not a weapon. So therefore, now, in order to create inner peace, the practice of compassion, love, is very, very important. Now scientists say, basic human nature is compassionate. I also used to participate some occasion when they say, they also showing one picture, very, very young infant child, about 5-6 months old, language not yet developed. And then one sort of cartoon, on cartoon, one cartoon, 2 children helping each other and smiling. And that cartoon, you see, seen by that infant child, smiling. You see, expressing joyfulness. Then another cartoon, 2 children, negative attitude each other. That cartoon show that infant child. That child also is showing some unhappy sort of expression. Then the constant anger, fear experience happen. Our body's immune system is reducing. Other hand, more compassionate mind, immune system sustain or sometimes increasing. So the conclusion is basic human nature is more compassionate. So that is really basis of our hope. So you, the generation of 21st century, as a young human brothers, sisters, this basic human nature is very fresh in your mind. Now, modern education, not adequate, you see, to educate about this inner value. Modern education, about I think over 200 years, is very much oriented about material value. Now, in this country, Bharat, mainly British introduced this modern education. Very helpful. Now, India, as an economy or many technology field, in many other field, Indian really makes sort of advance. Wonderful. But the education about inner value is concerned, not adequate. As a result, the whole world, say, materially, many countries highly developed. But as a human being, not necessarily happy one. Some of my friends, very rich, I think someone billionaire. But when we become close friends and talk, and they also express their own sort of inner feeling, some private sort of things, then many of these people express or showing me they are a very unhappy person. Too much stress, too much worry. So this clearly shows the material facility excellent. But these excellent material facility fail to bring inner peace, inner happiness. So today's existing so-called modern education not adequate to create happy human being, happy society. This country, generally speaking, very much spiritual, spiritual nation or very much religious-minded nation. But equally a lot of corruptions. So those people, you see, who do not accept any religious value, then it is understandable. But people who are very much sort of devoted about religion or God or Deva, Devi. Sometimes I jokingly, you see, telling my Indian friend, say, I think each morning, each family, I think some incense or some flower in the front of Ganesh, statue of Ganesh, or Shiva Lingam, or Saraswati, pray. It seems they are praying, please be success my corrupted life. So therefore, India's existing education system, I think not adequate. Usually, you see, we make distinction, secular education and spirituality. Yes, secular education is wonderful, very important. But in secular education field, we should include some teaching or some lesson about, usually I call secular ethics, Not talking about next life, not talking about God or heaven like that, but simply how to create happy life, healthy body. Some of these sort of emotions, some are very harmful, some are very, very helpful. So education make distinction among our emotion. This is entirely based on scientific finding and common sense and common experience. That we can do. I'm now some even institution in this country now really showing genuine interest, not only interest, they're already committed, try to make a curriculum about secular ethics. In this country, when we use secular, it's okay. India's constitution itself very much based on secular. In the West, the secular, the very word of secular, you see, people consider something negative towards religion, disrespect religion. During French Revolution and the Bolshevik Revolution, you see, when they use the secular is something a little bit negative towards religion. I think actually not religion. Religion means practice of compassion. That's a religion. Nobody can against that. Even animals appreciate love, compassion. So these, also the, because revolutions are, and these sort of occasions, some kind of tendency to against religion is religious institution. Some of these religious institutions, I think, very much sort of link with the feudal system. So when they against the feudal system, the institution which helping the feudal sort of feudal system, then you have to against that kind of institution. I'm a Buddhist monk. If such case happen, I will join them to against. Even I think some of Buddhist institution, I will against. Certainly. So therefore, so in the West, secular means something negative. So I usually use the word universal value. In this country, secular, no problem. According to Indian understanding, secular means respect all religion and also respect the non-believer. That's a very, I think, wonderful sort of concept. Now today's world, out of 7 billion human beings, about 1 billion human beings are non-believer. These also human brothers, sisters. We must include these people. So therefore, I think India's understanding about secular is, I think, very relevant and very fit to this reality. So the compassion or love, I think whole our life very much depend on affection or compassion. So compassion is, I think, the basis of our survival. It's not just a religious matter. So therefore, through education, we should have more awareness about this inner value. With inner value, mainly a sense of concern of others' well-being. That is compassion. Once you have the sense of well-being or sense of well-being of others, or sense of concern of others' well-being there, then all your professions, different profession, you see, that direction, all your profession can be more compassionate act. That I think through education. And also family also have very important role, and particularly mother's role. So therefore, now you, the generation of 21st century, now you should think more, about these inner value. And your education and the inner value must combine. And chancellors, vice chancellor, and the concerned sort of people, please pay more attention about that, so that the generation of 21st century can be more compassionate, more peaceful. So firstly, you yourself should develop inner peace on the basis of compassion. That brings your friend, and also that brings good health. So, friendship entirely based on trust. Trust based on sense of concern of their well-being, then trust comes. So, through these sort of practice, firstly, your own health improve. You get more friend. As a young girl, eventually you may find a nice, nice boyfriend. And boys will get a nice girlfriend. Money alone, you may find some partner. But sometimes I jokingly telling, marriage is the preparation of divorce. Few days, few weeks, excited. And then gradually, you see, start quarrel, and then finally divorce. So therefore, the friendship very much based on warm-heartedness, compassionate mind. So then one family, more compassionate family, one family, 10 family, 100 family, 1,000 family, that means society. So through that way, we can change the society, more compassionate society. Then through that way, this country make that kind of the goal, make attempt, and other country also, other continent also. Then eventually, we can develop compassionate world. That should be our goal. My life now, I will not see these things, but you can see. So please keep your enthusiasm. Enthusiasm very much based on, self-confidence. Self-confidence very much based on honest, truthful. Truthful, honest, very much based on warm-heartedness. Clear? So warm-heartedness really brings, because beside other thing, you see, it also the source of willpower and determination. My own case, no matter how difficult it is, I always believe value of compassion. And I carry my work mainly to that sort of motivation. So I always say, carry my life transparent, honest, truthful. So therefore, that really acting like basis of our determination, our willpower, So please, you should think future, not past sort of century, a lot of problem. So you can change that kind of unhealthy society. You can create better society, healthier society. So with that kind of vision, with that kind of confidence, it automatically brings you optimism and determined, work hard. Okay. So that's sort of my talk. Now some question, answer. Okay, thank you. I will going to sit there, then some questions.
Good afternoon, first of all.
Yes.
The question is that peace never comes from heart or soul, but it comes from mind. Because when we are prepared in our mind that yes, we have to attain something, then it comes from inside. Now the question is that we had a little talk and you explained us that what wisdom is, compassion is, and a number of things was said by you. But we listened to you. We had a talk with you, but we just listened to you, and after some times or a day or two, we shall, I think, I'm not sure, but I think that I'll forget whatever was said by you. So how to resist this quality, that how to resist that the talk which we had in us? How to resist the quality?
Okay.
That only.
I think many students, you are quite reluctant for study.
Yes, of course.
I myself also, when I was young, 7, 8 year old, let's say, I was a very, very lazy student. So then some other people, you see, they pursue you for study. Then eventually you yourself get develop, or say the interest or enthusiasm interest. Then enthusiasm come for study. Then up to PhD, go like that. So similarly, these inner value, not just a mere knowledge here. Now here I may touch the Buddhist tradition. There are 3 levels of awareness or understanding. First, through hearing. That not much stable. After you hear, then you yourself think more. And then gradually you develop the second level of awareness out of contemplation. Right? Now that brings conviction. With conviction, that you will make effort constantly, familiarize these objects. Then your mind, then these are such as compassion, truly become part of your life. My own case, over 40 years, I familiarized these this value. Then gradually, these concepts truly something alive in your mind. So in order to know these things better, you should pay more attention about the whole map of emotion. Ancient Indian psychology, very rich. Now in modern India, not much pay attention. Even spiritual leaders. So once we have the fuller knowledge about the whole map of emotion, then we become better positioned to tackle this destructive emotion.
Okay.
Like that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Next question.
Good afternoon to all the people present here. First of all, I'd like to say that I'm really very honored to listen Your Holiness Dalai Lama. Sir, today we find violence all around. As you talked against violence and you said that we must spread peace everywhere. Envy and jealousy is found even in our homes. We feel that our family members are our competitors. If my brother is earning more than me, I think that I must earn more than him. So, sir, what all steps we can take in order to do away with this jealousy, this feeling that we are having these days?
Yes, that is, you see, due to lack of knowledge about the different value of these different emotions. So, generally speaking, anger is part of our life. Person who show easily anger and use harsh word, apparently more people then they recognize you more able person. I think whole society, you see, very much they carry materialistic life and materialistic culture. I feel that is also a problem. We have to change that. Not through prayer, not through religious practice, but through education. So if our society really happy, good, then no need make new effort. But as you rightly mentioned, this very moment, I think same human being, same planet, killing each other, facing starvation. Like Syria, although I think yesterday or day before yesterday, suppose they create some kind of trust, peace, and violence. But again, it's some violence you see coming. And then also in some African country, even starvation. So today's world, I think very, very unhealthy situation. All these man-made problem. So it is logically our responsibility to reduce these things, not through prayer. We create a lot of problem and pray to God or Buddha. It's illogical. If Buddha or Jesus Christ come, if you ask, please bring peace, then I think most probably Buddha or Jesus Christ, I think will tell us, because will respond, who create violence? Not God, not Buddha. So human being, I think according theistic religion, give us very kindly the free will. So we use wrong way. So since this problem, human being created, so it is our responsibility to solve this problem, not through prayer. So therefore, I feel, I think the event in 20th century, at the early part of 20th century, when nation declare war on other neighbors or other nation, I think generally every citizen of that nation proudly joined war effort. Now that kind of situation, later part of 20th century, completely changed. Since I think Vietnam War, the peace movement, then really start and increasing. About the Iraq crisis, about to happen from Australia and Europe and up to America, millions of people took part demonstration against violence, war. So this is, I think, European Union, the member state, in early part of 20th century, killing each other, fighting each other. For example, French and German. Now, after Second World War, they realize now war is mutual destruction. Better to live together and think common interest. That is the reason to create European Union. So these are the reason we should be more optimistic. So within the same century, much change. So now this century, if we make effort, mainly through education, I'm quite sure later part of this 21st century can be more peaceful, more compassionate. That I feel. Next question.
Okay, Gaya College.
Hello, sir. Sir, मैं गया कॉलेज का स्टूडेंट सर. Sir, my question is that, as you have mentioned, that inner values cannot be developed in a day. It is a gradual process. Then my question is that, if a child has developed with a negative values, then what should a parent or teacher should do so that he can eradicate the negative values from that very child or student?
Again, I think the children,
Yes.
as I mentioned briefly, parents also have great important role. Firstly, as a parent, and particularly mother, should provide maximum love towards child. Then, with genuine sense of concern about the future of the child. You see, sometimes it may necessary a little bit harsh word. And some cases, if the child is too much sort of stupid way, won't listen, you see, your sort of reasons or logic, then sometimes it may necessary, you see, a little bit sort of physical action, but not out of anger, but genuine sense of concern, his or her well-being. Then eventually, you see, even you see hard students or a child, I think can change. Change will not take place within one day, within 1 week or 1 month. I think change our emotion takes time, not easily, but you need constant effort. That's my view. Okay.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Now, Crane Memorial.
Next question.
His Holiness, you told that the destroyer of our inner peace is anger. So can you suggest some ways in which we can maintain our inner peace and keep ourselves away from anger or any kind of such type of feeling?
I think firstly, we usually take care about our physical health. So even you see a part of our sort of education or study, we also, you see, include hygiene of physical. And now, we should include education about hygiene of emotion. So in education, the children, I think, should know what kind of emotion, you see, really harmful for our physical as well as our inner peace, and harmful your friend or friendship, all these things. Other hand, more compassionate, our mind really, firstly, as I mentioned earlier, very, very helpful to our health. I think I can assure to you, according with my experience, now I am 81 years old, but if you judge my face, what do you think my age? 80-year-old or seems younger? So I have nothing special to keep sort of the youth face there, youth face. Nothing. When I met some of my friends after 10, 15 years, they say, oh, your face, nothing changed, still youthful. Then they ask me, what's the secret? Then I usually teach them, my secret, I must keep secret. Then I usually telling, I have nothing except peace of mind. No matter how difficult it is, when I saw some sort of tragic thing, I always look from wider perspective. Then, as I mentioned earlier, the very, very sad things on this planet there. But if you look holistic way, that there are also a lot of positive things there, which is basis of our hope. So any problem, if you look closely at one angle, it appears unbearable. The same problem, look from distance and from wider perspective or different angle, then that not so sort of unbearable. So that's the way human brain, not animal brain. Our brain is something very smart. If we properly use our intelligence, our mind, our brain, combined with warm-heartedness, then our life truly become happy life. And no matter how difficult it is, we have the ability to keep our peace of mind.
Next, Nazareth.
Next question.
Nazareth Academy.
My name is Vatsal Ashwarya. I am from Nazareth Academy. Good afternoon, everyone present here. Good afternoon, His Holiness. My question is that you said that inner peace will eradicate the anger present in us. So my question is that how we can develop that inner peace in ourselves?
This is interdependency. Anger come, your peace of mind reduce. So now, since real destroyer of our inner peace is anger, sometimes attachment also, you see, may destroy your peace of mind. Too much extreme sort of biased love, biased sort of attachment, then it quite often is go side by side, hatred and love. That's not genuine compassion. Genuine compassion without attachment, that can develop through reasoning, through training, not spontaneous, not a biological factor. Of course, a biological factor, love, is biased, but it is seed. So that's take as a seed, our love. Then use human intelligence to further develop. Then the biased compassion eventually become unbiased compassion. That we can extend towards our enemy. The biased compassion you cannot extend to your enemy. So therefore, these only through training, through familiarize. As I mentioned, my own case, when I was young, I was quite short-tempered. I usually telling the people, my parent, my father, very, very short temper. My mother, I think we never saw our mother's angry face. So therefore, I usually say telling, my early part of my life, I follow my father, short temper. The later part of my life, I follow my mother, like that. Okay.
Okay. Next.
Hello, sir. My question is that why the education is sufficient to create a peaceful world? But I saw that the educated people are influenced by terrorism.
So that's why, that's the indication. Existing education not adequate. So most of the troublemaker on this planet, I think generally speaking, educated people. Educated people more clever, uneducated people more honest. So actually our education should help to become that person more honest, more truthful. But educated people more cunning. So I think because of education, or because of our sort of intelligence, I think sometimes, our smile, human smile, is the, I think, expression of love, friendship. But the smile also, you see, due to our sort of brain, sometimes smile because of a sarcastic smile or diplomatic smile. So that instead of get more sort of trust or happy feeling, more fear, distrust. I think animal, I think cannot do that. Only we human being. So the existing education is just to take care about the brain, not warm-heartedness. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hello. Myself Deepak Kumar. I am from Magad University, Bodhgaya, from foreign language. I want to ask that how to kill anger of our mind, how to kill anger of our mind, and how to spend our life peacefully.
Of course, it is not nice, you see, because of telling by myself. But next week, I think about 4 days, I'm going to sort of going to give lecture on one text, Shaddadawas Karsa, Bodhisattva Chaya Avatara. That book, 10 chapters, really has the clear explanation how to deal with our anger and how to deal with our self-centered motivation. Since, for me, since I received that teaching, eventually that really changed my sort of emotion, my mental state. So like that, you see, these books, you see, you should study, you should read and think constantly. Then through years, your mind will change, definitely. Like a flower, say, within few days or few minutes, few hours, few days, so you see, cannot grow. It takes time. Similarly, change our emotion also take time. Just mere understanding will not change our emotion. Through constant sort of analyze, right? Constant analytical meditation, we call vipassana. that meditation then gradually change our emotion. So not easy. I think modern people, everything, so that these machines are much sort of automatic, and mobile. Now easily you get information like that. Now change of our emotion, not that way. Take time. You need effort and determination. I must practice that. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, we all know that if one wants to succeed, then one should plan about the coming days early enough and work accordingly and regularly. But planning for future often generates fear and anxiety about the results. So how can we overcome such situations?
As I already mentioned, you see, judging 20th century, I think there are a lot of sort of events which bring us hope. 1996, I had opportunity meeting with Queen Mother of England. Her own age, 96. I think she born 1900. So therefore, I asked her, since you observed whole century, so world become better or same or worse? Without hesitation, she responded me, world become better. She used the reason. When she was young, nobody talked about human right and the right of self-determination. Nowadays, these become universally accepted. She mentioned that. And then, as I mentioned earlier, the event during 20th century, I think much changed. One my sort of, actually my friend, and actually I consider my teacher about quantum physics, one German professor, von Weizsäcker, now no longer. In 1990s, some occasion, he told me when he was as a young German, and every German eye, French is their enemy. And French eyes, German is their enemy. Nowadays, that kind of sort of thinking completely disappeared, changed. So, as I mentioned earlier, at the early part of 20th century, European Union, that kind of spirit, unthinkable. The later part of, after Second World War, you see that those member states previously killing each other, now that completely changed. So these, and they also destroy or disappear of Berlin Wall, not by force, but by people's movement, popular movement, and headed by Czech like that. So I think the main leader of that movement, Czech, the late President Havel, my great friend, I really admire him. See, very, very gentle, very calm. See, he, I think, one of the, important leader, changed whole Eastern European countries. Then eventually, Soviet Union also changed. I think 1 year, maybe, I think just before Berlin Wall disappeared, the East Germans president, the communist leader, Honecker, he stated Berlin Wall remain next 100 years. But then within few months, Berlin Wall disappeared. Not by force, force of NATO, but by popular movement. Basic human nature, no force can stop. Now, totalitarian system is against basic human nature. Human nature, we loves freedom. With freedom, we can utilize individual creativity nature. So, the interest for nations also, individual sort of freedom is very important. Look, India, there is freedom. I think India, compare neighboring states, this country, despite some sort of drawbacks here and there, but basically most peaceful, most stable, and more now India is the most populated democratic country. Because of that, more stable, more peaceful. And the religious harmony is, you see, India's tradition with the concept of ahimsa. This country, I think all major religious tradition exists here, beside a homegrown different spiritual tradition. That is Sangha philosophy, Jain philosophy, Buddhist philosophy. These are homegrown different spirituality or religion or different philosophy. Then Zoroastrian come from ancient Persia, and then Judaism, Christian, Islam, all from outside, but very well settled in this country. India is the unique, India is unique, I think, only nation where all major world religious traditions live together. So this is, I really feel the greatness of India, truly. So therefore, see, I think in this country, I think you can make, I think, a significant contribution for more compassionate world. Ancient Indian sort of knowledge about mind, about emotion, very rich. The ancient Indian sort of knowledge about mind or psychology, these things, you see, highly developed. The Western sort of psychology, compare ancient Indians, ancient psychology, Western psychology, the standard of psychology looks like kindergarten level. India is highly developed. So my sort of, what's the respected sort of criticism is your ancient, this rich knowledge in modern India, not much pay attention. I think including you, that generation of India, I think too much westernized. So I think India have this sort of ability to combine ancient Indian sort of knowledge about emotion and knowledge how to tackle these emotion. These knowledge and modern technology, modern education, these two things combine. Then I think people physically comfortable, all the facility there, mentally compassionate, peaceful. And India's, I think, century-old secular concept, I think, very wonderful. Then ahimsa concept. Really, ahimsa, I think, very much related with action. The action of ahimsa, action of non-violence, very much based on karuna. So when we talk about ahimsa, ahimsa does not mean so we remain indifferent. Not that way. You see, ahimsa, you have the opportunity or ability to strike back, to destroy, but use our intelligence, restrain, harming them. That's ahimsa. That very much based with sense of concern of their well-being, respect their right. So, restrain, harming. So, genuine practice of ahimsa must go together with karuna. Clear? Like that. Yes?
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mrityunjay and I study DAV Medical. Sir, my question is that how can teenager increase their mind concentration?
Kharsa.
This is the last question. Please do not allow any more questions.
Can I repeat, sir?
I think many of these questions, I think I may say with respect, question out of because of the lack of experience and a lack of realistic sort of thinking. You want everything immediately. Impossible. You see, as I already mentioned, my own case, as a Dalai Lama, from young age, I have all this facility, very good teacher, but real transformation of my mind, my emotion, as I mentioned earlier, 40 years, some concept, in order to real change, real effect of my emotion takes 50 years, 60 years. But it shows it's possible to change our emotion. As a result, now 80 years person, physically, except my knees, quite often you see create a problem, but my mind very clear, very peaceful. Through training. All these methods come from India. Your knowledge, we Tibetan, since 8th century, we received teaching from Shanta Rakshita. He was, at that time, one of the top scholar and practitioner of Nalanda University. He invited by Tibetan emperor. Then we kept his teaching over 1,000 years intact. So it's through training. In order to carry training, you need fuller knowledge. For getting knowledge, you must study. Not 1 week or few years, through decades. Like that. Okay, not easy. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Oh.
Dalai Lama ji, respected Dalai Lama ji, you have told and we have understand that failure will never come to you if your determination of success is strong enough. And good, better and best is when you never let it test. Then good is best and best is better. But my question is that how can we decline negative thinking in our friend circle if any friend is against of me?
I think much depends on your own attitude. You see, firstly, some negative reaction come from other. You still keep peace attitude, smile. Remain like that, eventually will change. Actually, there is no other alternative. If someone show you negative attitude, you also take a negative attitude, then it's no end. Finally, killing. So there's no other alternative. Some negative attitude come, you see, you show similar way is I think, Kasota, wrong way. Now look, global level, violence, counter-violence, violence, counter-violence, no end. Only thing is meaningful dialogue. That's the only way to cease the violence. So similar. Next question.
Morning, sir. Morning, sir. Sir, you have told that if you want to change the world, you have to change yourself first.
Yes?
Yes, sir. Sir, inner change is a lifelong process. It is a process which always running. Sir, there are some circumstances, negative forces which always check us. Sir, how can we remain focused on this positive attitude and still motivated, sir?
As I mentioned earlier, study. Those books which mentioning transformation about our mind, about our emotion. That's the only way. Any human action is first knowledge, then implement. So just one word, as I already mentioned, this just sort of indicates how to develop happy human being, happy world. Then, step by step, you should think. When I think about problem of this planet, huge problem. Sometimes I feel I cannot do much. Then the answer is, we need change. It is possible to change. So who start change? Me, individual. One person, then 10%, then 100%, then 1,000%, then 100,000. Go like that. Next question.
Good morning, sir. I'm Shivendra Malviya from Gaya College. My question is, today humans lefting ethics value due to modern culture and for luxurious life. And what is the way to guide them in correct path?
I already mentioned education. I feel I cannot blame these people, including corrupted people, or education, the society. Education lacking about moral education. So the whole society come from that kind of education. It's corrupted society. Whole world facing some problem, crisis of moral principle. Okay. Now last question.
First of all, thank you for coming here. Everybody wants freedom, whether they have a voice or not, whether they can express or not. My question is that wherever you go in any part of the world, you often surrounded by a high security having guards. Sometimes you can't come in public also. My question is that won't you feel imprisoned, and if you, how you overcome from this?
No. Actually, I always practice compassion, infinite love towards entire humanity. But I have the name of Dalai Lama of Tibet. So some people consider me as a troublemaker, so some problems. So I'm guest of Indian government. I'm longest guest of Indian government. Now 57 years I'm guest of Indian government. So therefore, the government of India, you see, taking care about me. So I don't care, police or some people here and there. I consider another human being, nothing differences. Thank you. Now, yes.
I am a Christian from Mizoram, which is bordered of Myanmar and Burma. And according to the Bible, it said that those who are not born again in the name of Jesus Christ, they are not to heaven. They are not going to heaven. They said that they are going to hell. But before the spirit of gospel, if a person did not tell them gospel, how do they become a Christian? Then what about their soul? What will be the fate of their soul, sir?
Any major religions,
Yes, sir.
study is very important. With knowledge, like Christianity, one of the important world religion. Among my friend, many Christian brothers, sisters, really wonderful. So all their enthusiasm, their determination, their willpower, like Mother Teresa,
Yes.
such a wonderful sort of dedicated lady, all their sort of willpower come from the Bible, their traditional sort of the religious belief. So all have same potential. Now knowledge is very, very important. So study is, every religion, study is, I think, very, very important. So many Buddhists, you see, just to carry as a tradition without knowing the real sort of teaching of Buddha. So I think many Hindus also, you see, without knowing the real sort of as a message of God or philosophy, like that. So study is very, very important. I always telling mainly to Buddhists should be 21st century's Buddhist. That means Buddhist faith with fuller knowledge about Buddhist concept or Buddhist philosophy. So that is similar. And then next life, I think at the time of dying, faith to Trinity or God or Jesus Christ, single-pointed faith, even without much knowledge about Christianity, is at that moment, single-pointed faith is helpful.
But sir, St. Paul said so. St. Peter and St. Paul said, those who are not born again, they are not going to heaven.
Now here I think a different answer.
What are those, sir?
According to Jainism, according to Buddhism, no concept of creator. So consciousness, no beginning. So life after life go that way. So the concept of karma, one lifetime creates some good karma, then next life, more positive life, more happier.
Bible says that, sir, I am Omega and the end. Then, supposing now I am mortal. When I die, my soul will go to where? If I am not born again.
I think single sort of pointed faith towards God.
St. Paul,
Then you are quite sure go to heaven. My dear friend.
Yes, sir.
No. I mean, I sort of I mean, respected spiritual. I consider brother, the Bishop Tutu.
Yeah.
Bishop Tutu. Some occasion we discuss. Of course, we always teasing each other. So he wants to see, as they express, he ready to go to heaven.
Yes, sir.
Dalai Lama go some other places. So you see some little bit sort of kasoda. So some sort of traditional way of thinking is just one religion, one truth. Concept of one religion, one truth.
What are those, sir? What are those?
So according Christians, only truth, only religion is Christianity. So Muslim, only Islam, like that. So therefore, then I think that ancient time, people who follow different tradition within their own sort of area, then the concept of one religion, one truth is very relevant. Now, today's world, the concept of several truth, several religion is relevant.
Repeat, sir.
In the terms of community, in terms of humanity, several truth, several religion is there. It's reality. As I mentioned, in this country, all world religions, you see, live together. So several truth, several religion there. So then I think we cannot say this religion, the view of this religion is true because of the teaching of other is not true. You cannot say that. I think we must respect all tradition, and then up to individual.
Yes, sir.
So your case, I think, single-pointed faith towards God, Jesus Christ, and Father, Son, or Holy Spirit. Yes? You see, that is very helpful.
Okay, thank you, sir. I'm sorry. I'm taking so long.
No, I very much appreciate. Now our meeting really become informal. That's very good.